G'day bushwalkers. All right, South Coast Track overview part 2. The first 3 days we had got to Louisa River. So day 4 started with the dreaded Ironbound Range. We woke up at 6 o'clock. It was still dark. It had been raining all night. Unfortunately, I camped in a depression, so I was in about an inch of water around the tent, and waking up. We knew it was raining because you could hear it outside all night, pissing down. And then waking up in the tent and your head torch on and packing up your sleeping mat and your sleeping bag and everything else. Luckily, that had all stayed dry. The tent's a pretty good one. It's a duplex. And then we're off to we got away by 8:30. We always take a long time packing up and getting going, the three of us. Ironbound was a hard day. It's only 12 kilometres. 12 kilometres. Took us the full 9 hours to get to Little Dead Man's Bay. Where are we? Okay. First 10 to 15 minutes to walk, it was pretty easy. It was only a light rainfall. We were all in full rain gear, beanie and the hoods and the dry pants and the water protective gloves and a whole bit. And I was on the verge of saying, "Oh, look, boys, because it's a bit flat to start with. I'm just going to get this rain gear off." Lucky I didn't, because we started up that slope and we just got smashed, like absolutely smashed. Hard rain, hail, winds that almost took us off our feet, and that continued for the rest of the day. Absolutely. And so lucky I had a brand new Pertex jacket. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. It worked, and I only had one layer on under that, surprisingly, and a pair of shorts under the dry pants. But because we were working so hard, first going up and then going down afterwards, it was kept pretty warm and comfortable. There's also gaiters. We only put them on the top of the Ironbound. Going up the Ironbound, it was wet, but a lot of it's sandstone and carved steps, so you're not actually wading through mud. That comes at the top of the Ironbound and going down. That's when you hit the mud. So, we got to the top pretty tired. It was a hard climb. Not going to try and mask that. Then had lunch at a muddy little hollow up the top. Most people say they like lunch there, but when it's shit weather, the lunch is pretty crap too. So it was just eat, put the gaiters on, sort out our clothing, and keep going. So we reached the summit, and there's no big fanfare at the summit. It's just we only knew we reached the summit because my mate's GPS watch said, you've reached the 905 metre ascent. We thought there would have been a rock can or a little marker or something, but there's nothing. It's just continual boardwalks. They sort of flatten out a bit, then the boardwalks go down, and then you hit the tree roots and the mud and the very steep track going down and down and down. And that, I think going down was actually probably harder than going up. It's very frustrating because it's very slow. It's really muddy. Sometimes you sink up to your knees in mud. If you're not wearing the correct gaiters, you'll get leeches. None of us did, but other walkers did that were silly enough to wear ankle gaiters. I don't know why you'd wear ankle gaiters on a track like that. It was slow. And then even once you get to the bottom, Little Dead Man's Creek is another few kilometres on, but we got to the bottom and two of us were just running on fumes. The other guy, he was just, go on, let's go on. Duracell battery just keeps marching on, but me and the other guy, my mate, were just plodding along and looking forward to reaching Little Dead Man's Bay. Little Dead Man's Bay, beautiful campsite once you get there, but probably about, I'd say 500 to 700 metres prior to reaching that, there's a little creek that runs through across the track. That's where you're going to get your water. Little Dead Man's has no fresh water. There's a toilet, but no fresh water. So, we ended up getting the creek, then going all the way back, getting water, going after we're already tired, when we could have just filled up our extra 3-litre bladders on top of our normal drinking bladders and water bottles with fresh water and taken it to the camp. But beautiful camp, beautiful views. If you've got the energy, you can go for a wash. One of us did. that was one of the nights I couldn't be bothered having a wash. I was too tired. So day 5, Little Dead Man's to Preon Beach. That was, let's see, excuse me, Dead Man's to Preon boat crossing, pardon me. Only 9.4 kilometres, that's quite a bit of mud, only 150 metres up and down. The beach prior to Preon's is about 5 kilometres on the beach, which is just beautiful. Just when I'm on the beach, I go into automatic meditation mode and look at the waves and breathe in the air and just relax and walk. But the boat crossing's sort of, yeah, that's, our luck. It was just one boat on one side. When you go west to east, there's usually one boat on your side and 2 boats on the other side. So you've got to row across, grab a boat, row 2 boats back, then with one of those boats, row back again to the eastern side. So you've left another boat there. You got to put life jackets on, and you got to work out whether you're going to take packs and who's going to row, and so on and so on. We ended up one of our guys, probably the fittest guy. He rowed over with me and 2 of our packs, dumped the packs. Then both of us rowed back, but towing each other, which was rather comical, because boats banging into each other, and And then we got the other guy put his pack in the boat, and the boat that we had to take back, and rowed back. And we did realise for that, if you go down the beach towards the east, we were lucky. So the tide was going out, but there's a big mud bank, so we could push the boat out onto the mud bank a bit, jump on the boat, and then go across. And because the tide was going out and the wind was up, we were getting swept down the channel, which was not a problem. We still reached the opposite bank, but then you jump out and you have to push the boat up. Well, the last time was almost 100 metres back up, which is quite easy. You're just walking through the mud and pushing it. A lot easier than rowing, that's for sure. And, after the walk, you're a little bit tired and you just want to get to the campground. Campground is beautiful there. Now, once again, it's the problem with the brackish water. Preon, no good for water. There is one creek on the eastern side where the campground is, and you go up the banks of the I think it's the lagoon, I suppose you'd call it. But brackish and very dark, and we tasted it, and it didn't taste nice at all. There is a rivulet, beautiful clean water running down off the beach before you get to the boat crossing. Recommend you fill up with water there. Some other campers had. Like I said before, 3 litre. We 2 of us had 3 litre bladders, another had 2 1 litre bottles. So fill up all your fresh water there, take to the campsite, and you're right. As it was, we got to the campsite and decided, rather than do the boat crossing thing again, we did a 2 kilometre hike further east till we reached the creek at the end of the beach, and got water from there. And we were just lucky enough the tide was still going out, so the water wasn't too brackish, and we were able to drink it. It was a lot cleaner. And then 2 kilometres back, but after the walk, my mates, one of them's an endurance runner, so he did this trail running thing to get all the way back there, and I couldn't keep up with him. So I went for the walk, but couldn't keep up. So I'll leave the rest at part 3.